Good morning, all. Welcome to today's webinar on automated trading with Algomojo and Aeronect. My name is Lokesh. I'm part of the FinFolab team. Today's session is designed for traders who are already running or seriously exploring algorithmic trading. We will go deep on both platforms, how they work, how they integrate, and how to stay compliant with the NSE static IP mandate. This session is getting recorded. In case if you would like to have a look at it again, it will be made available towards the afternoon. Kindly use the chat box to raise any queries that you would have regarding the platform or the usage of the platform or usage of any of the tools, or if you want any more details on the features, please use the chat box to type out your queries. I will answer them as we go along. By end of today, you will have a clear picture from signal generation in TradingView or Amibroker through Algomojo for execution management to Aeronect for compliant static IP infrastructure. So let's get started. Here's what we are going to cover today across 7 sections. We will start with Algomojo platform. What is it? How signals flow from your strategy to your broker, and what makes it different from a regular trading terminal. Then we get into some advanced execution features like custom order types, risk management tools like lock profit, trail profit, and multi-leg strategy groups for option traders. After that, we will cover the automation workflow in detail, webhook URL setup for TradingView or Amibroker, paper trade versus live trade, and concurrency controls. Now, if you want me to cover any particular section, particular topic in detail, kindly use the chat box to type out your queries. I will try and show them during this demo. Let me start with what Algomojo actually is, because there's often a misconception. Algomojo is not a strategy builder. It does not write an AFL code or a Pine script for you. It is a signal execution engine. Your strategy lives in TradingView or Amibroker, or you can write in Python, Excel, wherever you want to build it. Algomojo's job is to receive that signal and place the correct order in your broker terminal within a sub-second kind of time frame. The flow is simple. Strategy fires a signal, sends a webhook URL, a JSON payload to Algomojo. Algomojo will process the order parameters, place the orders in your broking system. It's a simple execution platform. Point to be noted is that we are not a platform where we recommend any strategies or we recommend any stocks to buy or sell, enter or exit. We don't give any such kind of explanation or details in our platform. We are just an execution bridge, I would say, between your charting tool, which generates the entry and exit signals. We pick up those signals and place orders in your account. Whichever could be your broking account, we will place orders in those broking account for either an entry or for exits as such. Now, we have some key statistics. We have integrated close to 30 brokers. We have close to 25 common structure of APIs. All users get 7 days trial period, and after that, you have a regular subscription, which on a monthly basis works out to 999,000 rupees, I would say. In case if you take an annual plan, it can come down to about 600 rupees per month. This is the Algomojo platform cost, and the additional cost that you would incur would be things like static IP, because that has become mandatory from past couple of months. There's no way that can be made free, because we depend on other service providers to uh, provide you the infrastructure for static IP. So we just pass on that cost what we are incurring towards configuring those servers for you and providing the static IP for the users. So apart from that, there's no other platform usage charges as such. However, in case if you are using, say, your charting tools like TradingView, you will need to have a paid subscription of TradingView because the free version doesn't support the webhook URL, which is essential for interacting with Algomojo platform for uh, receiving signals, actions from the chart for either an entry or an exit of it could be any trade as such. So you will need to have a subscription for TradingView. If you are using charting, you will need to have a subscription because charting will also support webhook URL only in the paid version as such. If you are an Amibroker user, then yes, you will have um, charges towards the data feed as such. But towards Algomojo, the cost that could be incurred would be rupees 1000 or 600 depending on the kind of subscription that you take. However, we have a special offer. I'll share that with you also as we go along. Now, Algomo's strongest feature is its broker coverage. Close to 30 plus brokers are integrated in our platform. We provide a common API structure across all of them. What it means in practice is that you build your strategy once and you don't have to write broker specific order code. If you say switch from Zerodha to say Upstock tomorrow, your strategy doesn't change. Only your Algomojo broker configuration changes. Otherwise, there's nothing that you need to do in terms of your coding part. It could be in any platform. It could be TradingView, Amibroker, anywhere. The highlighted tire here is that you get a free lifetime API from Algomojo if you open a new account with any of these seven brokers, which could include Alice Blue, Dun, First Stock, Fires, Goodwill, Upstock, Zebu, and Zerodha. Uh, so it is free for lifetime. So practically, your for your towards your automation, there'll be no other charges except your chart, say TradingView subscription kind of thing. But for Algomojo, you don't have to incur any cost. So nowadays, it's become very easy and simple to open a new broking account. You can try and open an account with any of these seven brokers and avail the automation charges or the API charges completely free for life as such. So in case if you already have an account with say Zerodha and you would like to try out with Upstock, you can do that. Or Done, it could be Goodwill or LS Blue. Any of these brokers, you could open a new account and avail this free API facility from Algomojo. This slide covers the execution feature set, the things that differentiate Algomojo from basic webhook URL, webhook to order pipeline as such. We support multi-segment, including equity, cash, delivery, intraday, index futures, stock futures, options on all major indices. Everything is under one platform. So if you log into Algomojo, you should be able to carry out all your trading and investment uh, requirements from one platform here. You need not have to have multiple things open. You can manage all your trading and investment activities from this software itself. In terms of order types, you can look at placing only long orders or short orders or long play short orders or stop and reversal orders also. What are these? When are these to be used? We will get into depth of that once we look at a chart and a strategy and look at various types of order types that can be supported. Now, if you're a trader and the quantity that you trade is much larger than the freeze limits, don't worry. We will take care of the order splitting for you based on the stock or the index that you're trading. Based on the freeze limit set by the exchange, we will split the order quantity that you're trying to trade or trying to place an order with into multiple lots and then send it across based on a single signal received from your chart. So it's absolutely a one-time kind of setup. After that, there'll be no interventions required from your end on a day-to-day basis, except that you have to log into the platform once in the morning and set up the or switch on the strategies that you want to keep running for the day. Otherwise, you need not be uh, sitting in front of your system, or you need not have to have even your laptop open to for the signals to be processed. Once you switch on, and then the platform can take care of your entire order executions without uh, you being present in front of your laptop or front of your system trying to see what orders to be placed and what not to be placed. Don't worry, you just switch it on in the morning and then switch on your strategy and leave it to the systems to handle it. You can focus on any other activities that you are engaged with. Our systems will keep running, and it will process every signal that gets generated from your chart, and orders will be sent across to Algomojo. Algomojo will in turn send it to your brokers, and the orders will be executed. So least amount of intervention is required. And also what we have done is we have built this platform in such a manner that you need not have to have any kind of programming or coding knowledge to operate our system for and automate your strategies. It's a simple copy paste kind of activities that you need to do, that to one time setups. And you need, once you do the setup, it will be there, it will be saved for you until you do not want to use it any longer. So it's a simple process of setup to be done in Algomojo and also in your charting tool. Today's case, we will look at TradingView as an example and see how we can do this setup using a strategy or an indicator in TradingView, and how it can be saved and used day in, day out for trading or investment cycles as such. In case if you have any queries, kindly use the chat box to raise your queries. I will try and answer them as we go along. Yeah, all users will also get facility for trading in doing a paper trade. Uh, our recommendation is to start with a paper trade facility, and once you feel that the orders are getting executed as per your strategy or as per your requirements, then you can shift over to live trade. Every user gets up to 6 strategies which you can simultaneously try to do a paper trade, and once you see that the orders are getting placed as per the requirements, you can shift over to live trade. Uh, Point to be noted is that paper trade that we provide here is more to test the process uh, of order placement, signals being received, executed, and whatever activities that you need to do in the platform. Just to check those processes, the paper trading facility is provided. It is not to be it is not recommended as a forward testing or a back testing tool as such. We are not a platform which where you can do a back testing or a walk forward or an optimization kind of activities for your strategies in our platform. It is paper trade is more to look at the process, understand the process of how the orders or signals are getting processed, and how the order flow is happening in terms of against the signals that have been generated and sent across. Yeah, Algomojo covers the full spectrum of Indian exchanges and the instruments. You can trade in equity cash. It could be NSE, BSE, both intraday and delivery, CNC that is. Futures you can trade into. It could be NSE, Nifty futures, or Bank Nifty futures, or BSE, or NSE stock futures, or BSE stock futures. MCX also, you can trade in commodity futures. In terms of options, you can trade in static strike. You can define a fixed strike selection, say an ATM, ITM, or an OTM up to 20 levels. You can select in ITM or OTM with call or put or hedge variants. Good for strategies with predefined strike logics as such. Now, if you want to use dynamic strike price, the platform selects the strike dynamically based on the current market levels. Supports all major indices: Nifty 50, Bank Nifty, Mid Cap Nifty, Fin Nifty, Sensex, Bank X, etc. The dynamic expiry auto selection handles weekly as well as monthly rollovers automatically. Now, in case if you are a positional trader and you would like to roll over your positions, you can leave it to Algomojo for it to roll over your position, open positions as such. On a set date and time, it can close the existing contract and take up the new contract as per your requirement. For example, if you want to roll over your, say, a futures position in a stock or 5 days before the expiry, because that is when your margin increase will come up. As you get close to the expiry dates, the margin requirements for both futures and options will start increasing. So, in case if you'd like to roll over, say 5 days or 1 week before the expiry, and you want to roll over at a particular time on a day, you can set those kind of parameters based on the open positions in your position book. We will look at the date and time and then close the current contract and take up the new contract for you. Any questions so far? You can always use the chat box to type out your queries, and I'll try and answer them as we go along. Yes. Let me walk you through the automation workflow end to end. This is where most new users have questions. There are two parts: strategy based alerts. Your strategy fires a buy or a sell signal when a condition is met, and or an indicator based alert. A condition on a standalone indicator will trigger the alert. Both parts converge at the same point, the Algomojo webhook. How to use that? We will look at it with practical examples when we get into the chart. On the trading view side, you will need to load your strategy or an indicator on the correct symbol and the time frame, and click the three dots, which is to add the alert. In the alert message box, all you have to do is paste the Algomojo JSON payload. This tells Algomojo what order to place, whether to buy or sell. And under notifications, paste your Algomojo provided webhook URL, set the alert condition, and that's it. After that, you need not have to do any other setting on TradingView. On the Algomojo side, you will need to define the order management parameters, like what is the symbol you want to trade, what is the exchange, what product types. Set your segments. It could be equities, it could be futures, or it could be options with specific strike price parameters. Configure the lot size and the order types and the dynamic parameters. Always start with a paper trade mode. Verify signals are flowing correctly. Once verified, you can switch to live with a single click. Paper trade or live trade switch is important because use it every time you change strategy parameters, right? Yeah, there's a query on multi-leg orders. Can it be simplified? Yes, we are working on a model where you can get to select, say, your option strategies from a drop down. It could be bull call spread or a iron condor or a butterfly. All the legs for that particular option strategy will automatically be added to your Algomojo account, and from there, based on a single signal, all the legs can get executed. However, it is still not deployed. Maybe the next version of Algomojo, when it gets released, you will have this facility. Surely, it is on one of the topmost priorities that we are working on, to simplify the option multi-leg option order placements, especially. So currently, you will need to set up each leg and group them together and use the group webhook URL to place it in the alert notification box for the orders to get executed. Yes, till the new version is released, this is the only option that is available. Uh, Once the new version is released, you will have a much easier method of handling option strategies. Yes, there's one more query. Like, um, once you set the parameters in Algomojo, is it possible to change the parameters? For example, if you want to change the lots that you're trading, or whether you want to change the option parameters, yes, there's a method of doing that. I will show you when we get into the strategy creation in Algomojo. And continuing with the same person's query in terms of registration, how do I register or sign up for Algomojo? I'd like to use different brokers during different trading sessions. For example, morning session, you'd like to use say Stock, and from 1 to 3:30, you would like to do another broker. Yes, it's possible. And how to do a static IP setup. If you already have a static IP from us, it's a very simple process. We can assist you in terms of uh, how to do the setups. It's a very, very simple process to configure the static IP. We will try and cover that in case we are not able to cover that today. Support team will get in touch with you and surely assist you in terms of configuring the static IP. And notifications, you currently can get it on Telegram, not on WhatsApp as such. System supports Telegram notification configuration for every strategy that you're trying to run. Now, coming back onto the platform, let me try and go to the platform and uh, explain what are the things that we have done, discussed so far. Just give me a minute. Yes, this is a website called algomojo.com. You'll be able to see all the features and facilities that we provide under this platform. Now, in case if you'd like to open a new account, you can use the tab here called Open Account. After you fill in the name and email ID and telephone numbers, you will need to select the broker with whom you want to open a new account from the drop down. And once you select and say submit, you will be taken to the broker's webpage for you to complete the account opening process. Most brokers have an online method of opening an account, and it's pretty simplified with most of them, and the new accounts can get uh, opened after you submit all the documents within say 24 hours to 48 hours depending on the broker. And once the documentation is clear and the account is configured in your name, they will send across the um, user ID and the password, which is the same credentials you will need to use while for using or trading using Algomojo also. Now, so once you have an account with any of the brokers, or if you open a new account with any of these 7 brokers and you get the credentials, all you have to do is go to this button called login and select the broker from the drop down. Here, you have a drop down which will provide details of all the 30 brokers with whom we have done the API integration. Yeah, if you look at today's demo, we will be using an account from TradeGenie. So select the broker and it will ask for the credentials, which is your user ID or the client ID and the password or the TOTP, the same process which is followed by your broker account login. So you'll need to enter the login credentials. Let me, one minute. One. So not able to reset the pass pin. Just give me a minute. Let me update the TOTP. Yeah, I think that is done. Okay. So once you log in, irrespective of whichever broker you are using, the user interface is same. You will get a summary dashboard giving you details about funds and holdings and other parameters, like if you already have some orders placed or positions open, all that will be displayed here. The first thing that you will need to do is to generate the API. Go to my API section, and generate an API from here. When you're doing it for the first time, it'll ask you to generate the API, and uh, you'll get a 7 days trial. So all users will get 7 days trial period to try out our system, to check whether we are able to meet your expectations in terms of, it could be any parameters in terms of order execution or feature facilities that are available, user interface, ease of use, etc. Whatever parameters you have in your mind in terms of your system requirements. For you to check out that, we give you 7 days trial. Kindly make use of that 7 days trial. And once you're satisfied that we are able to meet your expectations, we are able to add value to your trading and investment journey, you could look at taking subscription from us. There are three methods of subscription, or three variants. Let me show you what are the options that are available for you. Um, you get a monthly subscription, which is about 1,000 rupees. Half yearly is about 3,600, and yearly is about 6,000 rupees. So on a yearly basis, it will work out to 500 rupees for you. Once you're convinced that our system is able to add value to your requirements, then you can appropriately choose kind of uh, subscription that you would like to have and then continue with us. Or if you open a new account with Algomojo as a referral, this becomes completely free of cost for life for you. So once you have the EPI, the next step is to create a strategy, wherein we go to the section called My Strategies, wherein you will need to add the parameters that you want to uh, trade with. For example, if you want to, just one moment, you get my APIs. Con- my API is expired. I'll ask them to. So in the screen, you will need to define what is that you want to trade or invest into. First, start with the name. Say, for example, demo. Let's say for the first demo, we'll be using Nifty futures. So I'd say NF demo, and today's date is 27th June. Can be any name which is convenient for you to be remember what is that you're trying to do. Uh, Next step is to select the rule. There are five types of rules, as I was mentioning. It is long only, short only, long plus short, buy sell, long plus short, buy sell, short cover, and stop and reversal. This is the most critical point to be focused on in terms of what is the rule that you need to use. It is dependent on what is that you are trying to trade, dependent on your strategy that you're running in your chart. So I'll explain to you in detail when we look at a chart what type of rule to be used at which point in time as such. For the first demo, we'll be using super trend as a strategy. For super trend kind of strategies, the rule that will be applicable is stop and reverse. So let me select that from the drop down here. Then they select the segment that you want to trade. That is for first demo, we'll be using Nifty futures. So let me select that. And from you will need to mention what is the trading symbol. If you type in the first few letters of the symbol, you will get a drop down. Select the contract from the drop down. And order type can be NRML or MIS. If you are an intraday trader, then use MIS, otherwise NRML by default. Price is always market, so you need not have to do anything there. And select the number of lots that you want to trade. For example, if you want to trade 100 lots, you can mention that here. And the total quantity will be displayed just below that, depending on what you type in here. The freeze limit for Nifty is 1755. So if it is Bank Nifty, it could be something else. If it could be a stock futures, it could be something else. So system will automatically check what is the freeze limit and place multiple orders based on how much quantity you're trying to trade. So these are some parameters that you need to compulsorily update as to what is that you want to trade, how many lots you want to trade, whether it is positional or carryover. Once you do that, you can save the strategy and get on to the chart for the next step of configuration. However, there are some more facilities available in case if you'd like to handle the target and stop loss, trailing stop loss kind of facilities from our platform. You will need to do those settings here. Suppose you want to set the target in terms of M2M or points or percentage, you can do that here. Similarly, trailing stop loss can also be selected from here. Once you say points, you will need to say how many points you want to trail, what are the basis of the trailing, all that can be set up here. Now, if your strategy itself is handling that, you need not have to update any of these fields as such. The next section would include things like what is the start time, what is the end time. Somebody was asking, can I trade using, say, one broker from 9:15 to 1:15? You can say yes. You can say select the time from 9:15 to 1 p.m. Say if you're logged in using Upstock here, so say set the end time as 1 o'clock, and uh, if you want to trade in Zeroda after 1 o'clock, you need to open a similar web page or log into Zeroda web page of Algomojo and set the time as 1:01 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. as the intent. So any signals coming in after 1 o'clock, it will be pushed to Zeroda. If it is before 1 o'clock, it will be placed in Upstock. So, however, you will need to have both the account subscription from us. So, if you want to handle more than one broker, you need to have subscription for each and every broker from us. So, if it is two brokers, then it will be counted as two subscriptions. If you open a new account in both the brokers and using Algomojo as the referral, then both become free of cost for you. So there'll be no platform API charges. However, rest of the charges as applicable will be will need to be handled. So once you set the start time and end time, if you're an intraday trader, if you would like to set the square off time, you can do that here. If it's expiry, when do you want to do the expiry rollovers, those parameters can be set up here. After updating the required mandatory fields, you can say submit. The strategy will be created and it will be saved and it will be available for you always going forward. So once you submit, a webhook URL will be generated, which we will be using for creation of alerts in TradingView, and also will be using it in say Amibroker or Charting, any of the platform which requires a webhook URL support. Uh, you will need to take that from here. So kindly use the webhook URL from here. This is one copy paste that you'll need to do. And the second, if you're using TradingView, that you will need the strategy code to be updated in the message box. So you'll need to copy it and paste it from here. That's it. So once you do this, go back and it will be always available for you. Right. Any questions so far as to how to set the strategy page in Algomojo? See, normally there's a query in terms of if it is stop and reverse rule, is there a time delay that needs to be set between long and short? See, the way it operates is most brokers would handle it pretty well. Suppose you are trading in one lot. If you want to do a stop and reverse, when the reversal comes, we'll send the orders for -2 lots. Suppose you're long, that is +1. If you want to go short, we'll send it as -2. So it'll close the long position and take up the short position. So there's no delay and there's no issue in terms of handling the margin requirements, because most broker systems will understand when there's a twice quantity coming in that one open position has to be closed and the new short position or the long position needs to be open. So it works pretty efficiently. There'll be no delay for order executions for the users as such. So most brokers would support this facility. And yet to come across any broker where because of margin in such kind of facility there's a delay or the orders get rejected. It doesn't happen. Just check it out. In case if you come across something like this, do let us know. We can take it up with the broker and see how we handle those kind of situations. Right. So after you do the setup here in terms of defining what is that you want to trade, this will always be available. So once you log in the morning, all you have to do is come here and enable this for live trade or paper trade. Uh, so start off with the paper trade, and later once you realize that all the parameters are set correctly as per your expectation, the orders are getting executed as per your expectation or strategy requirements, then you can always shift over to say live trade. At a click of a button, you can change over from live trade to paper trade. Now, somebody was asking, after I create this, and suppose I started trading and the orders are getting executed, can I change the order parameters? Yes, all you have to do is go to this place here, switch off both live trade and paper trade, go to edit and say update these parameters. Suppose you want to trade instead of 100 lots, you want to make it 110 lots, you can do that. So the next order, and after that you will need to update it. So you say update. So the next order which gets triggered will go for 110 lots, not 100 lots. So this is the way you can change any parameters in the middle of a trade. If you would like to edit what you want to trade, this is the way to do it, and it's a simple process. There's a facility. Even if you have a position open, it is okay. You can come back here and do the editing. Suppose there's a 100 lot long which is running and you want to make it 110 lots, you can always set it up here and update it, and the order will flow for 110 lots in the next signal as such. Hope that answers your query. Now, after you enable paper trade and live trade, you can close the system or you can shut down your system, and or Algomojo will keep running at the background, and any signal coming in from your, say, trading view or charting kind of environments, the signals will be received by Algomojo and orders will get executed at the back end itself. So you may not have to have your system on, or if there's a problem in your internet or something has happened to your laptop, nothing to be worried as such. As long as you have enabled the trade for live or paper, it will keep getting executed at the back end. Only thing that you need to ensure is that you log in the morning and not log out. Suppose, say, after login, you come and say log out from here, then the new signals coming in from your chart will not be executed. The system will stop because you are logged out of the system. Similarly, if you're not enabled live trade or paper trade, the orders could get rejected uh, in case if you have switched off these buttons, live trade or paper trade as such. So, so once this is, so you can create as many strategies that you want here. Suppose you're trading Nifty, you're trading Bank Nifty, you want to trade in some couple of stocks. All that can be created as separate strategies in Algomojo, and it will be stored and it will be always available for you. Uh, Whenever you want to stop trading, you can say switch off or delete them or modify them. You can manage the entire thing from here. And in case you want to continue without any changes, all you have to do is log in and enable live trade or paper trade. That's it. The system will keep running for you at the back end. It'll in the stop and reverse, it goes as double the quantity. Suppose you're trading one lot, it will go as minus two lot. Suppose you want to close the long trade and you want to take a reversal. So plus one, if it is running, it will the signal will go as minus two. So the plus one, the long portion will be closed and the short portion will be triggered as such. After you do this, the next step is to go to trading view and do the setup of the alerts. It's again a pretty simple process. All you have to do is select the trading symbol that you want to trade, say Nifty, Bank Nifty, or it could be Reliance or any stock that you want to trade. Select that and select the time frame and load your strategy. For example, this is the super trend strategy that is loaded. I'm sure most of you would have come across super trend or used super trend at some point in time or the other. It's a very popular tool. Most traders, investors would have used or come across. So as you can see, super trend is always in trade, either long or short. So if you have a strategy which is similar in nature, that is, it is always in trade, either long or short, then the rule to be used is the stop and reverse. So what happens is, suppose there's a long entry here and a sell entry comes here. What it will do is it will close the long position and take the reverse of that. That's the short position. So that is why the long portion is stopped and the short portion is taken. So that is why the name short and stop and reverse. It will stop whatever is the trade which is running and take the reverse of that. Suppose you are running short, it will stop the short and take the long portion as such. So it will keep repeating or keep alternating between long and short depending on how the strategy is framed. So if your strategy is similar in nature, then you stop and reverse. Now there are strategies which are like say it will take a position and say a target is hit somewhere here, and there'll be no trade for some time, and again a long could come or a short could come, and again there could be a closure of that position, and there'll be no other position running for some time. So it is intermittently in trade. So for such kind of strategies, use the long plus short uh, as the rule. Buy sell if you're using trading view. Uh, that is the third rule or the fourth rule. If it is trading view, you use the third one. The fourth rule is similar, but it has got additional actions like short and cover, which is more to do with your Amibroker kind of environments. But for trading view, you can use long plus short. That's the third rule. Now, if you are a trader and you would like to take only long position, or if you're a positional trader, investor for the example, you can't take short positions in swing trade. So, for such kind of requirements, use long only as the rule. So it will take a positional trade in a stock, and when a sell order comes in, it will close the long position and it will not trigger the reverse. Now, if you're a trader and you would like to take only short positions, then and not the long positions, use the short only as the rule. So you have long only or short only or long plus short and stop and reverse. Mainly four types of rules that are applicable to be used based on the kind of strategy that you're trying to trade. So in case if you have any doubts in terms of what is the rule applicable for your strategy, always contact us, and we'll be able to get online and look at the way your strategy is configured from the screen itself, and then suggest an appropriate rule to be used as such. We're there to help you out. Or if you need a documentation, you can always look at our documentation section. It will give you a complete um, detail about what each rule does. Yeah. So, there's a query. I have a strategy that sends either buy or sell, but not sell immediately after buy is closed. Okay. Now, as I was mentioning, suppose say you have a buy entry here, and say a sell is given. So you will close your long position here, and there's no trade for some time. Say, and again, maybe a trade gets initiated along here sometime later around say 11:15 in this place. So it will get a long position, and maybe it will ask you to reverse here. So, and after that, again, a target is met and there could be no trade for some time. And again, there could be a sell signal somewhere here. So if that is the kind of nature of your strategy that is running, use long plus short as the rule. So what it will do is when there's a long position, it will take the long, and when suppose say you get a target hit here, it will send a sell signal. It will close the long position taken and not take any new positions for you. It will wait for the next signal. It could be either a long or a short based on how your strategy is configured. So if you get a buy again somewhere, say somewhere here, it will take a long position, and maybe a sell comes here, it will close its long position, and there could be no positions open for some time. So if it is intermittently in a position, not continuously in a position like a super trend, then use the third rule, long plus short, and not the stop and reverse. Stop and reverse is for strategies similar in nature as super trend, like it is always in trade, like either long or short. So if you have similar kind of strategies which are always in position, then use the stop and reverse rule. Otherwise, long plus short is what we recommend as a rule to be used for strategies which are intermittently taking positions for you. So after you load the strategy, sorry, trading symbol and the time frame and the strategy, all you have to do is create an alert as a one-time activity again. The way to do that is go to your strategy which you are loaded, click on this button called More. It will open up a small pop-up box wherein you have to go and update the webhook URL. As you can see here, when you click on that, you'll get this. If you're doing it for the first time, this will be blank. So copy the webhook URL from here, go to your strategy, which you created in Algomojo, copy this, and all you have to do is click on this copy button, go to trading view, and paste it here. Control C and Control V and say, then go to message box, click on that. It will open up a small window where by default, whatever is there, remove that. Go to Algomojo again here. And from the section under trading view, go to the strategy tab, copy this code from here, copy this JSON content and paste it here. Give it a name, for example, and say demo 27th NF and say apply and say create. That's it. So your alert that you create will be always available for you and it will keep running day in, day out. You, in case if you want to pause it or delete it, you can do it from here. If you want to pause it, go use the pause button. If you want to delete it at a later point in time, you can just say delete. Otherwise, it is always available for you. It is always on for you on TradingView charts. So it can keep running at the background. Uh, as you are aware, TradingView is in a cloud platform. Once you create an alert, it is running in the cloud environment. And as and when there are signals coming in, it will be picked up and sent across using the webhook URL to Algomojo. And Algomojo will, based on the kind of signal, whether it is a buy or a sell, and depending on what you're configured in Algomojo, whether to trade in Nifty, Bank Nifty, stocks, options, any of these, it will execute that order by sending those signals with the parameters of the order to your broker. That's it. These are the only two copy paste that you have to do: the webhook URL and the message box content if you are using a strategy in TradingView. It is as simple as that. You can bring any strategy in which is available in TradingView, and the steps to be followed is the same. All you have to do is create an alert. In the alert section, update the webhook URL. Let me show you again. Click on this button, go to this message box, and by default, whatever is there, remove that and paste this alert, the code from TradingView, and say apply, and go to webhook URL and update the webhook URL. That's it, and say apply. That's it. It will be there for you, and system can keep running without any intervention for you. Any queries? There's no facility to limit the maximum quantity that you can trade. There is a facility available in our system wherein you can limit the number of trades that you can do in a day. Suppose you don't want to take more than 5 trades in a day. The sixth trade will not be executed. This system will go into shutdown mode, and any after 5 trades, and any new trade coming in will not get executed. That's the only way of limiting in terms of how many trades do you do. It doesn't. There's no facility to limit the quantity that you want to trade as such. If that was the query. Yeah, you can add any, you can modify, you can add your trading targets, stop loss, trailing stop loss, any feature that you want in TradingView itself. All you have to do is you get that coded in TradingView Pine script, and whatever signals that you're generating for entry, exit of the trades, appropriate action will be sent to us either in the form of buy or a sell or a short or a cover. You can configure short and cover also in TradingView in case if you know coding or you get hold of a coder who can help you in terms of Pine script coding and send those signals from TradingView. So you can add any kind of JSON. Now, suppose say you want to trade. You want to define various other parameters, like you want to limit the trade timings, you want to modify the quantity that you want to trade, or any other parameters that you would like to add in JSON, you can do that. However, for execution of those kind of custom requirements, you will need to send the orders from TradingView using our API documentation to your broker directly. So use our API documentation and define all the parameters that you want to have and send the orders directly. You need not have to have a setup in Algomojo itself. You need not have to log in also here. The like what we said was create a strategy and log in and update all these parameters. You need not have to do any of those. You are controlling all whatever we did here in terms of what quantity, what strike price, what price, how many lots. All that can be a payload in your JSON, and it can be sent from TradingView directly onto your broker as such. It can be supported. And all orders of such nature, you will be able to monitor using my API logs. Here, uh, all the logs, all the orders executed or sent across from TradingView with along with Algomojo APIs will be listed here. So it need not be a specific strategy kind of parameter setting that you would need to do here. You can define it in your JSON itself. See, if you're changing the quantity or the strike price, you don't have to make any changes in your redirect URL. All the information is stored here. Suppose, for example, here instead of quantity 110, you want to make this 150, and the strike you want to change from Nifty June contract, say for example, July, you want to make a July contract, select it here. Suppose there's a trade already running, and in the midway you would like to change over, you can do that from here. You can modify those and set the quantity as 125, and then update it, update all those changes. It will be saved, and the new signals that will be coming in will be executed as per the settings done here. Now, the way the workflow happens is from TradingView, you are getting a buy or a sell signal generated, and it will reach Algomojo using the webhook URL payload. Now, once it comes to Algomojo from TradingView, we will look at that packet and see what is that you're trying to trade. So the payload will have details of which customer and for that customer, which strategy is he referring to. We'll come to know that he is trying to send a signal for trading into this strategy called NF demo. And in that, we will look at what is the trading symbol, how many lots he has to trade, and we will pick up those details from here and send it across to your broker for your execution. That's the way the workflow is designed. So signals come from TradingView, and the rest of the parameters will be picked up from Algomojo strategy that you have defined, and that payload will be sent across to your broker for execution. Yeah. See, um, we don't here the strategy that you're creating. There are no charges. There's no limit. You can create as many strategies that you want to trade. Suppose you're wanting to trade in all indices, all say multiple stock futures, cash market, all that. You can have a n number of strategies defined under Algomojo. There's no limit to the number of things that you can trade or invest into from Algomojo. So the only charges that will be applicable is your subscription charges. Suppose if you opened an account with Algomojo as a referral, then there's no API or the platform charges also. It will be completely free for you. The only charges that are applicable would be your static IP and your TradingView subscription. That's it. Otherwise, platform charges will be zero for any number of strategies that you want to create and run. Yes, irrespective of whether you are using Amibroker or charting, the process is pretty similar. In Amibroker, what you need to do is there's a query from an Amibroker user. So, in if you after you create this strategy, if you see the section here in for trading for Amibroker, There are codes, AFL codes that we provide. So they are based on the way your strategy is structured in Amibroker. If it is say something like your super trend, and you'd like to use stop and reversal, go to this place, stop and reversal, and copy this entire AFL code and paste it just below the AFL code of your strategy and save it. That's it. This and once you do that, there's a provision to add the webhook URL into that. I just add that and then save it. That's it. Otherwise, this the process is very similar. Of course, AFL Amibroker itself will take care of the signal part, whether it is a buy or a sell signal. So we need not have to define that separately. Um, like we do in say TradingView, for example. If you are looking at TradingView, we have to copy this code and then place it in TradingView also, and along with the webhook URL. Whereas in Amibroker, this part is taken care by the AFL itself. So it will generate the buy or sell or short or cover signals, and based on the webhook URL you have configured in Amibroker module, it will send across the payload to Algomojo. Uh, Along with the webhook URL, the buy or sell conditions will be sent across to us, and we will look at what is that you're trying to trade and send those parameters to your broker for execution. Uh, See, exit signals for each has to be different. You can't have a global exit signal for all the strategies that you're running. Currently, not possible in our system as such. So for each strategy that you create, you'll need to have a common. There can't be a global exit. Like say, for whatever reason you like to close all the open positions for all the strategies that you're running. There's no such a facility available uh, here, at least in Algomojo platform. So, any other queries on this? So, it is as I was mentioning in TradingView or Amibroker, we don't have to look into any code. No, even in groups also, it is not possible to exit all the positions. It has to be individual groups as such. Yes. Uh, what I was mentioning was that whether you're using TradingView or Amibroker or any platform from where you're generating the signal, the logic what we use, you're not exposing it to our platform at all. It is your property, your logic, your strategy. All you have to do is just copy paste these two things. One is the webhook URL and the message content if it is TradingView. If it is Amibroker, you have to just copy the webhook URL. That's it. And again, you need not have to open any Pine code or AFL and insert codes into that based on for executions for automation purpose, which makes the process a bit complicated unless you are good in programming and coding. Any other person will find it pretty difficult to manage the codes. If there's a by mistake a small comma or a thing is deleted in the code, it could create problems. It could create havoc as such. Whereas the way we have designed our systems, it's very simple. We don't get into looking at any part of the code anywhere. It is just to copy paste in TradingView. If it is charting or say Amibroker, it is just one copy paste of webhook URL, which is given by us. Use that, and then you're done. Your setups are ready. So whenever there's a signal getting generated from the system, charting system that you are running, the orders will be sent for execution through Algomojo to your broker, and the entire process can keep running day in day out for you. It's a simple user interface that we have created, nothing complicated. It is irrespective of what strategy you're running, what strategy you have got in your chart, the process is the same. Create an alert, upload the message box content and the webhook URL. The process as a process, create that alert and save it and enable it for it to keep running. That's it. Any queries so far? See, for if you're using multiple brokers, for each broker you need to have a subscription. If you want to use a yearly subscription, you have suppose you have 5 accounts, you have to pay for all the 5 accounts. What we suggest is open a new account with Algomojo as a referral, so that there's no additional cost for you as such in terms of the API or the platform usage. So make use of that facility. So it can bring down your overall cost. Now, in case if you already have an account and you want to use the platform, the only method would be to take multiple subscription for each broker that you want to use it with from us, and then you can connect as many brokers as you want. Yes. Yeah, when it comes to Arrow net pricing, the reason why it is, you might feel that it is on a slightly higher end is that, see, what we are configuring is a server for you, which has got a dedicated IP configured. It is unlike a ISP who gives you a static IP. It is a server that we are configuring and maintaining it for you. The executions are much, much better compared to the static IP which you get from your ISPs. So that is the reason why the pricing is slightly, I would say, marginally higher. It is around $700 if you look at the standard package. Uh, Unlike you might find that people like ACT might be offering it, I think, 300 rupees or 350 rupees, where for the static IP, it is not a server, it is a static IP which is being given. The executions and management of those IPs are much, much better when you handle it using a server. So, and again, it's a pass-through costing for us. We don't make any margin sort of it. It's a almost pass through of whatever costing we get from our ISPs. Irrespective of which broker you are using, whether it is done or Zeroda or any broker, it is a mandate that any orders which are getting executed using APIs will need to have a static IP. uh, this is the mandate which the exchanges have gotten. So yes, whether it is done or Zeroda or any broker, you have to have a static IP configured for placing orders using an API. Suppose you are doing it on your own, you have a done account and you're placing your orders manually, then you don't need uh, a static IP at all. It is a direct order placement. However, when you want to automate a process like a trading view or a Amibroker, then you will need an intermediary like Algomojo, who will act as a bridge between your broker and your charting account, charting tool, uh, for it to be for the signals to be handled from your charting tool and sent across to your broker. So where platforms like Algomojo would be the bridge, and there's a small associated cost to that service as such. That's the reason why there's a small amount of subscription that we charge. And of course, APIs, because of regulatory requirements, it has become mandatory. Earlier, it was not there. Prior to April of this year, it was not there. Now it has become mandatory. Uh, See, there's not much of negotiation that we can do in terms of the IP, whether it is for 6 months or 1 year from our service providers. As I was mentioning, it's a pass-through account for us. So I'm extremely sorry that we can't do much in terms of IP cost reductions, whether it is monthly, half yearly, yearly subscription. Hello. See, if you have a Zerodha account and you have a strategy which is running in, say, TradingView or Amibroker, the charting platform, and you want the orders, the signals which are getting generated, like here, what we are seeing, buy sells to be automated. Yes, that is where we can assist you in terms of automation of those strategies for automatic order placements. Now, the method is pretty similar. Like here, I logged into TradeGenie as the account. All you have to do is use Zerodha as the account, and there's a one-time small registration process for each broker. Once you do that, it's a one-time activity again, not that you have to do it every time. And then you configure it in Algomojo. You can place orders in Zerodha also. Yes. No, I don't think any API-based orders can be placed with any broker without static IP, sir. I can ask my support team to get in touch with you and clarify that point because it's a regulation requirement, and I don't think there's any exception made with respect to any brokers in terms of not requiring any IP as such. Yeah, there's no video that we have created for copy trade kind of facility. However, you have a blog available in our system, which could help you in terms of configuring that. Point taken, we will try and upload a video, or we'll make a video for how to use the what we call copy trade kind of facility. We will try and do that shortly. If you are trying to open an account yesterday, if you tried opening an account, they any broker normally takes about 24 to 48 hours for them to complete the process and come back to you with the credentials. You should be able to get it today, tomorrow. In case if you have tried it yesterday, given all the documentations yesterday, submitted all the documentation as per the requirement, you should be able to get your credentials today or max by Monday. Yeah, yesterday was holiday also, but online process shouldn't take more than 24 to 48 hours, irrespective of whether it's Saturday or Sunday, any of this. In case if it has not happened, kindly get in touch with us. We can check and come back to you also, sir. Yes. Any other queries that you would have, please. Yeah, let me just check that part. Let me try and show you this login process. I've what I can do is I can ask my team to get in touch with you and help you out in terms of configuring this as such. Um, I have not done it myself, but it's a simple process. Um, it's a website called aeroneck.com where you'll need to sign up and then ask for a server request. It'll ask you what type of server do you want to have, a standard or a basic server. If you say basic, and status is status all, and provide the date and time, it'll generate. I've already under this account there are two IPs which are configured. I don't want to add one more to this. I can ask my team to get in touch with you and help you to set up this IP, sir. Let me just ping them right now so that they can call you after this and help you out, sir. Sir, I've told our support team to get in touch with you after this session. They should be able to call you and help you out in terms of doing the IP setup for you, sir. They'll guide you and assist you. Yes. Yeah, market protection is still as a feature is not yet built in. Not all brokers support that facility. There are few brokers who have built in such a facility. So we are not still gotten to that. Maybe at a later stage we will have a facility for market protection in terms of price. Of course, once maybe it is not applicable as now because earlier it was market orders were getting executed. Now we have to convert market orders to a limit order, and we have to pass it on to the broker. So that's the reason. Maybe as a feature, it may be redundant now. It may not be applicable going forward because all orders will go as limit orders through API. I don't want to. I haven't got an update still on the new enhancement. Um, we'll surely keep you updated. Sorry for that. It's taking a longer than what we anticipated because in terms of platform development, as you are aware, we are into the new platform, the white label platform that we are working on for especially the copy trade. So that's the priority which is going on. We should be able to add a lot more facilities in that also. Expected to be released in the coming month. Yeah, even the multi-leg order also. There's a work. The work in progress is it's the in terms of configuration. I think coding it is almost done. It is done, but uh, the release is expected shortly. No, I think we have discussed the new features uh, quite a few in quite a few sessions. It's taking a longer than what we anticipated, so I don't want to commit on any new features or timelines for at this point in time. You will need to excuse me on that point. Please wait for the new releases to be uh, updated. You will have definitely some exciting features coming up. Sure. If there are no other queries, I think we can try and conclude the session at this point in time. Before that, let me try and update you all with the support structure that we have, which is an important factor. So you can contact Algomojo using various methods. One is a chat. Uh, we are open from 9 to 5 on all working days and 10 to 5 on Saturdays. You can contact us on WhatsApp or phone or email or ticket by raising a ticket. You can refer to our documentation, look at docs.algomojo.com, look at our blog for more details on feature usage. Every feature in step-by-step explanations are provided in our blog. Kindly refer to that blog. Various resources for you to access and check out the features, facilities that are extended by us. These are the websites you will need to look into, Algomojo or documentation or the blog or the IP support that is required. In case you want a demo specific, you can use a Calendly uh, facility and book a demo. Our team will get in touch with you and help you out in terms of configuring either your Amibroker or it could be TradingView or charting any of these platforms. If you need notifications on your Telegram, refer to we have a bot called Algomojo bot in Telegram. Uh, get into that blog and use the chart ID from there, and then configure that against the strategy for which you need the notifications to be coming from. So whenever there's a signal coming in, the bot will show you that there's a signal coming and order executed. Sure, point taken. We will try and add your suggestions for TradingView in terms of TradingView charting algo in the YouTubes. Yes. Fine. In case if there are no other queries, we can try and conclude the session. Thanks a lot for attending this uh, and providing us an opportunity to present our platform. We wish to extend a warm weekend, happy weekend to all the uh, session attendees. Do get in touch with us in case if you need any support. We're there to help you out. Thank you so much.